Hey everyone, it's another Europa League night here with the threat of there in Iceland. We are in with a pretty good shout of getting into the round of 16. We didn't bring it back for the Spezia game because we actually secured qualification before that, and we couldn't really get ourselves into the playoff spot as it was in the end. So it was just as well we didn't bring it back for the Spezia game because we got battered 3-0. But we played Sparta Prague again. We beat them 2-1 away from home. It's time for the home leg. Can we get the job done? Can we get it over the line? And can we get into the round of 16? Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome to another episode here today. Thank you for joining us. Do us all a massive favour before we start. Just drop a little like down below, please. I would really appreciate it. Makes me feel nice. We're just looking at seeing how some of our loan farm players have been getting on. Yeah, like I said, we're playing Sparta Prague today in the second leg of the Europa League playoff round. Yeah, we won the first leg 2-1. Actually came from behind in Prague with Matt Slurver getting a sort of semi-late on goal to get us the win. Because as I said, we did finish in the playoff spots. We came 15th. After we lost like 3-0 to Spezia. I'll touch on the results in a second. The biggest disappointment though was Breither literally being 30 minutes away from finishing on 10 points. They were beating Feyenoord in the Netherlands after about 60 odd minutes, and then they conceded 2 goals towards the end and they lost 2-1. We just saw them drop out, unfortunately, but we are so close to having 2 teams into the next round of the Europa League. Yeah, after I saw you against Southampton, we beat Hoffenheim 1-0. Marcos Rodriguez Vasquez once again. Before having a very annoying fixture in Bordeaux, we took the lead and we were like deservedly so as well. We were looking really good value. Felt like, 1-0, yeah, let's build on that. Let's get a second one before man of the hour, Marcos Rodriguez Vasquez, 2-foot someone in the 26th minute. And after that, unfortunately, we just really, really struggled. Couldn't sort of maintain any sort of real foothold in the game. Bordeaux were just too good on the 11v10. But then thankfully, yeah, we beat Maccabi Tel Aviv 2-0, and that was the game which basically secured us progress through into the next round. And then, yeah, as I said, we played Will Still Spezia, and we got battered 3-0. I say we got battered. The game itself was probably fairly even. It probably wasn't really a 3-0 game, but yeah, wasn't great by any stretch. Elsewhere, there's not been a huge amount. We've only played 1 game so far in the Derby Carcala, and we won 6-1 to be fair, with Snorri Svensson scoring an absolutely lovely goal for a centre half as well. We have actually got a couple of transfers to touch on as well. So Alefa Thor Valsen also actually did end up leaving the club. Big departure really. Been our number 1 keeper for almost 8 years, and yeah, really disappointing to be honest with you, but not unsurprising. A bid came in from Saudi and he wanted to go. We ended up having to accept a bid, and then Atlanta beat that bid. We managed to negotiate them to a higher fee for 675k, and we rejected, so therefore we cancelled the bid to Saudi and accepted that one. And he did end up leaving, which when you think we signed him for free to get 675k was a nice bit of profit. On a player who realistically, as I know he's 27, goalkeepers can peak a little bit later, but he probably wasn't really going to get much better than he was. Goran Stojanovic did also finally leave, although he has actually stayed with us on loan. So I think we touched on in the last episode, we'd had quite a few bids from like Monaco, and then we started to get bids from Saudi, Newcastle, Spurs, and we had actually managed to negotiate a fee with, I can't remember who it was. His release clause was 3 mil, and we'd managed to negotiate a 2.5 mil fee with 500k in installments and a sell-on clause, which had been accepted. So I was like, that's fine. I'd rather take the lower initial fee with the installments to get the sell-on clause. And then about 5 clubs just hit his release clause of 3 mil, and he ended up going to Newcastle. But yeah, they've let him keep us on loan for the rest of the season. And the same was true of Cheikh Goran, who'd, I mean, if we look at his career stats, he literally made like 2 appearances in Europe at this point. because basically because of registration rules and because he was quite young, he'd not really featured a huge amount for us in the last sort of season or two. He'd just been developing in the B team, working on some of his attributes because he was a little bit lacking in some areas. Played a couple of games in Europe, and then Spurs came in for him, I think after having missed out on Stojanovic. And he was like, I'm leaving, I ain't staying here. So we managed to make a little bit of profit from him. And yeah, same as Stojanovic, they loaned him straight back to us. Bit of a shame, really. I mean, I know mentally he wasn't great, but I felt like we could have turned him into a semi-decent player, kind of like Laji Torreira. And then Caligo and Mukonadze also finally left. Only managed to get 210k in the end for him from Strasbourg, but we signed him on a free. I can't really complain too much. And Per Lindstrom does look like he's going to Breidablik, which is really good. He will be a very good player for them. He'll definitely raise the level of their back line, I would say. So yeah, we're just waiting for that to go through. And then in terms of ins, we've got Karim Rondeau coming in on loan from Basel. Looks a really solid keeper, young keeper. He's just coming in on loan, basically, just to sort of provide a bit of backup to Shipara. And potentially, who knows, we might be able to convince Basel to sell him to us, or we might be able to convince him to join. I'm not optimistic, but you never know. We've got Stefan Rakic coming in from Napoli. He's a permanent signing for 3 mil in total. Looks a really good left back option. Obviously with Ragnarsson, we touched on not being potentially the required overall level. In true FM fullback terms, he can't really pass, he can cross, and he can actually jump, which is massive really for fullbacks in new gen fullbacks in Football Manager 2024. So the fact that he can do those things is decent enough for me. But hopefully he'll just sort of raise that level for us a little bit. And again, it's kind of like the Mashuka signing. He's just showing that we can attract players from these sort of bigger clubs. And then I can't remember if I touched on him before, but Nahuel Lopez, I mentioned him in Jake Cooper's Discord server, the link for which is down below. He looks fantastic. He's 6.5 feet tall. He's very physical. He could be a little bit quicker, but acceleration-wise, balance, jumping reach-wise, he can finish, he can cross, he's good at taking penalties, he's got great technique, really good flair, decent determination. So he's coming in on a loan deal with an option to buy. Basically, he's going to be coming in to mainly play on the wing, but obviously, there's nothing stopping us playing him as a striker if we wanted to. But he is coming in as a more sort of natural winger, which is probably where I will initially play him, especially where we've got like Suarez, Marcos Rodriguez, Vasquez. So he probably will end up playing out on the right-hand side. You can also randomly play at right fullback, but probably more of a complete wing back. But yeah, I'm really happy to get him in. So it does mean that we are once again flying the flag solo for Iceland now in Europe. But yeah, with a foot in the next round, I'm hopeful that we can get it done. And we're going to pick, let's say this is almost our best team. I'm going with Ragnarsson just for that bit more defensive solidity that he has over Hector Barrios, just with his pace and his really good tackling and positioning. And then we've got Barrios on the bench we can bring on. We've got Capacho and Sanabria we can bring on as well. I'm going to go with Mashuka over Sanabria. Do I want you? I need to get his face in the game. He's someone who came through our youth intake, and I am working on his development so hard because I think he could potentially be semi-useful in the division. Maybe not for us, but certainly potentially in the league if we can really work on him. So yeah, we're trying to hammer that as much as possible. Lindstrom is actually now going to Breither. That has been confirmed. Suarez is injured, unfortunately. Oviedo has been terrible. So I mean, he did score against Maccabi Tel Aviv, but stop clock is still right twice a day. Adi Bezic is wanted by a few clubs now, like decent-ish clubs as well. He has been playing really well. We rejected like a flurry of bids again on the last day of the transfer window. He wasn't that bothered about going. Diarra Suba is in purely for his leadership, really. Fabinho, say no more. He's been brilliant for us over the years. Absolutely solid. Pops up with the odd goal here and there still. We're going to go with Ngoran just because he has been very, very good, very dynamic on the wing. I'm going with Stojanovic over Sylvester, but we can obviously bring him on. In terms of strikers, we've got Sylvester we can bring on. who knows, we may even see Ormson depending on how we're getting on. So last time I think we played these at home, we beat them like 6-1. So obviously we're going to be hoping for the same sort of result. Nice early goal just to calm things down. Make sure of the coefficient points. Obviously if they score first, I'm going to start getting a bit twitchy. There is also interest in Mashuka as well. I think we rejected a couple of bids from Saudi. He again wasn't too bothered about making that move, so we were obviously very happy with that. He is someone who we would be prepared to sell, as we've touched on previously. But that was when we still had Carrillo, and obviously Sanabria. Whereas now we've only got Sanabria and Mashuka really in terms of like more natural sort of wing back players. We generally tend to use that on that right hand side just because it suits the players we've got in that role. Stojanovic going on an absolute brilliant run, deserved a goal really. Go away. Spiky over kick. I've had a few of my players doing them as well. I think I've had like Ungoy try it once before. It's a bit rogue. Yeah, it's well in Basic. Nice. Pretty poor. That was pretty damn poor. Lovely touch. Oh, that's shocking. That's shocking. Should be doing better with that. Should be doing a lot better with that. So our players are knackered. We didn't play at the weekend, so all our players are like fresh. You just hammered the training. Ah, oh, go ahead, lad. Good run that. I'll just be happy when we get a goal. I feel like it's coming if we keep going the way we are. Another corner. Gotta start doing something with these corners though. Gonna go short here, I think. Which I don't mind because it's Tungaran who can then whip it in. Whip it into the box, but he doesn't. That's outside the box. I think that's outside the box. But it seems like the question isn't whether it was outside the box. It seems like it's whether it's just a penalty or not. Which I think if it was inside the box, I think it's going to be a penalty. Yeah, given. I know Mashuka fell into the box, but I initially thought, oh, maybe it's happened outside. Who's taking it? 22. Besic. Nenkers it down the middle. 23, sorry. Beautiful. That's what we like. Nice cheeky little dink down the middle. Is right. Keeper's nowhere. Flapping away. And we're happy. We're happy. There's the goal we wanted. Ragnarsson just barges him out the way. Ball just shoves him over. And Goran's got a tight hamstring. probably take him off, shouldn't we, really? Do that now. Oh, Ungoy. Nearly scored. Thinks it. Stojanovic 2-0. Game over. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. He is good at getting onto them. Stojanovic, to be fair, if he had really good heading, he'd be even more of a threat. But that's where Lopez is going to come in handy on those far post corner crosses, I think. Because he's got that jumping reach and that heading ability and that of his imperious height as well. One of them, he's right-footed, but I do wonder whether we play him as an inside forward on the right-hand side. I know he can cross it, but I do just wonder. Because when you see like the way Stojanovic plays, and then when we've played Nigel and Suarez as inside forwards on the left-hand side with them being left-footed, it still worked for us really, really well. So I'm leaning towards doing that. The only downside is we're not actually going to have Lopez for... I think we didn't get another registration window, so we're not going to have him for the rest of Europe. We're going to have to wait until next season. Come on, Stojanovic, you got to meet that. See, he wins that header again. Just needs to have better ability. I mean, it's safe to say we're pretty much home and hosed though. 3-goal advantage. And let's face it, it's only really looked like us scoring more goals. All day. We'll take that all day. Nice. Easy first half. I accidentally told the players at halftime that I wasn't happy with that performance instead of saying I'm happy with that performance, but I definitely think we can find another gear. And most of them responded really well. So, no complaints. No, I've got to be. I think that took a deflection and then the keeper somehow saved it. I think that back across goal. This is a nice little move from them. Good save from Shiapara. That was a really nicely worked move from them, to be fair. They moved that really, really nicely. For a bit of context, everyone, today is the day that Pochettino has left Chelsea. So, drop your thoughts down below. Who are they going to get next? I personally would love it. If they brought back Mourinho for a third spell, it would be absolutely brilliant. Mourinho back in the Prem, who wouldn't want to see that? Just for sheer box office. I don't think it will happen. They've been linked with Amorim, but I feel like he's kind of set a stall out at staying at Sporting for at least another season after they won the league. I feel like he's really sort of just doubled down on that now. He said like, yeah, I've got a contract and I'm really happy here. We're building something, blah, blah, blah. You know, after he sort of jibbed off West Ham. So I think he's going to stay. Obviously, there's De Zerbi. Surely they won't bring back Tuchel. Surely. But you never know. I wouldn't have thought they would. But obviously Burley's like stepping down, isn't he? Or something like that. Todd Burley's stepping down as chair or something like that. Obviously he's still going to own the club, but he's not going to be chairman. So maybe he'll just leave the running of the club to someone else in that regard. I don't know. Oh, that's a lovely goal. The sheer speed of that attack then. It was like Nygaard just was like, let's just ramp it up, boys. Let's just get a third goal. He was like, he just went, nah, I'm taking you on. He just goes past, skips through, cuts it back to Bino, who just, yeah, lovely finish. We're going to make some subs. So we're going to bring on Mbala. Kind of getting him into the team more. Gallo. Barrios. And then we'll wait until after 75 minutes before we do the last one. So yeah, who do you think they're going to get? David Moyes? Could David Moyes go to Chelsea? I personally don't think they'll get De Zerbi because I think that Zerbi is going to be being eyed up by Milan and Juve. I know Juve have offered the contract to Bologna, to Thiago Motta, but apparently Barcelona also have as well. But Barcelona's such a mess. You've got them saying they're going to sack Xavi and then Xavi defending Laporta. And who knows with Barcelona, and then yeah, apparently they've offered a contract to Thiago Motta. So who knows with that club? It's just an absolute basket case. Maybe, you know what? Let's go. Let's do it. Let's bring on Ormerson. Why not? We need to get him his mid-journey face, but we'll get that sorted. But yeah, Mourinho back in the Prem at Chelsea will be brilliant. I'll be here for that. But yeah, who do you think Chelsea are going to get? Do you think it will be Mourinho? Do you think they're going to go for someone a bit more conventional, maybe? More of like a safe option. I don't think Burley will like Mourinho. Tuchel's a bit of a prickly character anyway, which by all accounts is part of the reason why they sold him, sacked him. It's why he left Dortmund. It's why he's left Bayern. I don't think Burley's going to want to go back to that. I know if he's not chairman anymore, it won't necessarily be up to him, but I think he's not going to be like, he's going to be like, no, I don't want him back at my club. And I think Mourinho is just like Tuchel, but, you know, even more of a pain sometimes. That was a lovely pass from Mbala and a lovely finish from Stojanovic, and I'm going to be gutted if he's offside because it was a really nice little move. Yeah, who knows? Is it going to be someone completely left field that we just don't expect? But yeah, what do you think? Let me know. Ten Hag, if Ten Hag leaves Chelsea. Company's apparently wanted by Bayern as well, which makes sense, I think, because I feel like, not that I've watched a huge amount of Burnley, but when you read about them and look at the stats and stuff and see the way they try and play, I feel like Bayern Munich could lap that up. And I think with a Bayern Munich 11, his style of play would work so much better than it did with Burnley. But be a bit of a step up, wouldn't it? Bit of a glow up. Burnley to Bayern Munich. Lovely goal. Pass from Gallo was great as well. Look at that. 5-0. Destroying them now. Oh, Albinho's injured. Brilliant, isn't it? Offside. I just don't get Poch leaving Chelsea by mutual consent either. Like, he felt like he was really building something there, really working towards it. Like, why is he sort of gone, yeah, you know what, actually, that's fine, I will step down. Like, the only thing I can think of is Chelsea have been like, we need to raise money, so we want to sell Conor Gallagher, Levi Colwill, you know, all these youth players just to generate just pure profit. And he's gone, no, I want to keep Gallagher, he's my captain, etc. You know, I want to keep these players who you think are disposable. And maybe they've gone, well, that's not what we're going to do. And he's gone, right, well, I'm not working here anymore then. Maybe that's what's happened. So 2 injuries in this game on Goran and Vino. It's not ideal, is it? Nice 5-0. They want a permanent deal stuck for Stojanovic. We've literally just sold him. That's why he's back on loan with us, because they've given him to us on loan. We can't afford 26 to 35 million. And he's still fickle as well. Let him go to Newcastle and work that out. Maybe we'll bring him back in 10 years. So it's time for the draw for the round of 16. So are we on this side of the draw? And who could we get? Ugh, that's horrible. Horrible. To be fair, I think we could beat Bordeaux. Possibly get past Braga. We pass Genoa. I would have said past any of these 4 teams, but we just had our asses handed to us by Spezia, so I'm not that confident. Let's go. Okay. Ugh. Sociedad around, that's good. Please, Newcastle. Oh no, we're going to end up with someone like... We're going to end up with Atleti, aren't we? Knew it. Oh. I really think we're going to struggle to build on this 7.625 now. Really think we're going to struggle on that. Atletico Madrid is a horrible draw at this stage. Absolutely horrible draw. Okay. Why? Why do we have to get that? Excuse me. So I'll see you for the second. See you for the second leg of the Atleti game. Unless we get smashed at home, I might not bother. But I will hopefully see you then. If we can somehow pull off the unthinkable and get a result at home. Who have they got now? They're probably all new gens, aren't they, really? What, we're 15 years in? Simeone's still there. They've got Destiny Doggy. They've got Mihajlo Ilic. I mean, that's a blast. From the Partizan days last year. Oh, he's disgusting. He's going to tear us a new one. So's he. Him maybe not so much, but he's leaving. I know he's joining Atleti. Oh, they're so good. They're so good. Oh. Well, everybody, thank you for watching. I'll see you for the second leg of the Atletico game. I'm not very optimistic, but stranger things have happened. If we can somehow pick up even a draw, it's still a gain, isn't it? Because we are looking to get... I mean, we're already replacing this season with a better one. just would have been nicer if we could have potentially just got a little bit closer to 10 points. I think we would have struggled. You know, it's just us. Even if we could have maybe got to sort of like 8.5, 9, it would have been nice, but it's not going to happen now. I think we're gonna get dumped out now by Atleti, which is a shame because Poland, sorry, haven't got any sort of dogs left in the fight in Europe. So any gains we're going to make is going to be a massive gain over them. They are losing, admittedly, a pants season, but they're replacing it with an even worse one. I feel like what's going to happen is when they lose this season and when we lose this one, basically there's a few teams here around us who are going to lose decent seasons, and hopefully we're going to replace them with really good ones in... What's that? 37, 38, 38, 39, 39, 40. 39, 40 maybe. And we're going to hopefully slingshot up past some of them. We'll see. That's the dream anyway. Or even not, if not slingshot past some of them, put some breathing room between us and them. But anyway, I'm waffling as usual, so I'll see you all very soon, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.